The content of this program is to provide nutritional education only. This program is not meant to take the place of your primary care physician. The FDA requires us to let you know that our products are not meant to treat, prevent, diagnose, or cure any diseases. As an empowered individual, you have options available. We are honored to have one of the founding fathers of epigenetics here to guide us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. Welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. And welcome to Daily with Doc. My name is Becca Dukes, and as the hostess of this program, I welcome you to an hour of empowering information that allows you to take control of your own health journey. So I'm so excited to have you all here with us. If you're watching us on the live stream and you would like to join our live audience, feel free to come into our meeting at dailywithdoczoom.com, and there you will be able to raise your hand and ask questions. So I think that we are just about ready to get started. Yes. So this place is a safe place. There is no solicitation within the group itself, period. Okay, only the information that will be provided in the chat. So if you are here live with us, make sure that you have that chat on. Our co-hosts will be providing information that helps you find Dr. Wallach's books and also names of products to help you know exactly what Dr. Wallach is referring to, how to spell it, because not everything is spelled, phonically, as we know with the English language. That way you can find the products that you need, or get back with the person that invited you to this program and tell them, okay, this is what I need. The doctor said so. But folks, it's more than just the doctor telling you that you need something. I love the fact that in this show, we are able to go through and provide the information that not just tells you what to do, but why. For me, when I'm told I can't do something, I just want to do it more. Do you understand? Anybody else like that? But when I understand why I should not do something, it makes it so much easier to follow. So that's what this program is all about, is giving you that knowledge that empowers you with the whys. This program is not meant to take the place of your primary care physician, and it is for nutritional education information only. The FDA requires us to let you know that our products are not meant to treat, prevent, diagnose, or cure any diseases. But as I mentioned before, we are empowered individuals. We have options available. You may never have heard of these options, and that's why we want to make sure that if you hear anything in this program that makes you think of somebody else, share this program with them, because you did not hear this information by accident. I believe that everything happens for a reason, and we want to make sure that the world hears information that is empowering so that they too can find the difference in what Dr. Wallach's message and research provides. So back to as empowered individuals, you know, there's this light of hope that comes with the science of epigenetics. Epigenetics has proven the science of genetics to be incorrect. It's the theory of genetic transmission that is incorrect. Folks, when we give the body what it needs before conception, during the whole growth process, the tiny little baby, the little cells that multiply and multiply and multiply and become this amazing miracle called a baby, human life, even animal life, actually, we get different outcomes. When something's missing, there's going to be some things that may not be just right. But even after then, when things aren't just right, we can support the body to be the best that it absolutely can be. And in some cases, make some dramatic changes. But it's the body that does it when it's given the raw ingredients. We're honored to have one of the founding fathers of this science of epigenetics with us today. His research is even held as a national treasure in the Smithsonian Museum, and that is the diseases of exotic animals. I myself consider myself an exotic animal. How about you, Doc? Are you an exotic animal?
Of course.
Wonderful. Then we're on the same page. So folks, sit back, get ready to take notes, but don't be too, in tune to making sure you get all the notes in, because you can go to dailywithdoc.com and you will find the replays of our programs, but you'll also find them on YouTube, Rumble, and Facebook. So go to Critical Health News channel on Rumble and YouTube, just Critical News on Facebook, and you will find our live streaming that is going on right now and the replays that are almost instantly available. So Dr. Wallach, what do you have for us today?
Oh gosh, I could talk about a million things, but I want to start out by talking about Ireland. Of course, this is St. Paddy's Day, St. Patrick's Day.
Do you have your green on?
Do I have my green on?
Let me answer that for you. It's on your hat. 90 for life.
I do have green shoes. Okay.
Go for it.
All right. And so, yeah, they are green.
Oh, that's right. Okay, folks, if you think Dr. Wallach is grumpy, his shoes make you laugh. Nothing else, but he's not grumpy. He is lighthearted and he has such a sense of humor. I just absolutely love it. So thank you so much, Dr. Wallach. Go ahead.
Okay. So I'm a greenie, all right? And I want to start out with life expectancies. In the industrialized world, the Western world essentially, the record was set by a French woman by the name of Jean Calment, 1997, okay? And she was, let's see here, she died in 1998, I think, but she died about a year after this record was set, okay? She lived to be 122 years and 164 days. And that was on 1997, Jean Calment from France. Now the French life expectancy, they're very smart. They split it up. The men are 79.2 and women are 85.3. So if you put them together, it's like 82.3 or something like that. So they're making things look really good because the women, live almost 6 years longer than the men do. Okay, that's very interesting. And so then, let's see here, the Hunzas, who are not in the industrialized world, in the Himalayan mountains, we do get Himalayan salt from that area. In those mountains, there used to be an ocean there, and when the ocean went away, the salt stayed. And since we have it in stock again now, our Himalayan salt has not only the sodium chloride, but also, 28, 30 other minerals. The life expectancy is 120. Now they're surrounded by volcanoes, which erupt almost daily. There's constantly smoking and pumping out ash. And so every day the farmers actually put that ash back down into the soil. You know, they go ahead and they till it and put the minerals back in the soil. So their food has all these minerals in it. And that's why they have a life expectancy of 120. Okay. They actually, some of them live to be 130, 140, 150. And then let's see here. Let's start out with emergency room doctors in the United States. They live to be 58.7. That's not very good. And then let's see here, doctors, medical doctors in the United States, depending on what state they're living in, what county they're coming from, they live to be 65 to 70 something, 75. All right. And the Philippines is 71. The United States, depending on whose numbers you're looking at, we live to be 73 to 75, depending on where you're at and if you're near veins of minerals in the soil and so forth. Remember, nutritional minerals do not occur in a uniform blanket around the crust of the earth. And our access to minerals changed at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday, September 4th, 1882, and they pulled the switch and turned on electricity. And they came up, obviously, with hydroelectric electricity and so forth. And that's why I came out with this book, Hell's Kitchen, because for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, we were getting our minerals from the wood ashes and coal ashes, which we would use for fertilizer in the garden and seasoning in our food. And then when we went to electricity, suddenly now we didn't have the wood ashes anymore. And what should I say, manufacturing benefited from electricity, all right? And electricity, of course, is very, very good for manufacturing and industry, that kind of stuff, but wasn't very good for people. All right, now let's keep going here. Now let's see here. New Zealand, the life expectancy is 82.3. Japan is 84.7. Canada is 84. Why is Canada so high? 84, kind of like 11 years longer than we do. If we're 73, they're 84. Holy moly, why do they live 11 years longer than we do? Well, that's because they have more volcanoes than we have, all right? And they have a lot of minerals in their soil, and some of them are still erupting and so forth. And so this is one of the reasons I think there's a lot of them there that are still using wood as fuel and as opposed to electricity. So that's why 84. China is 76 now. In China, there's two populations. In the north, okay, they live to be 71, 72, 73. In the south, they live to be 75, 76, 77. Why? Because in the south, they eat rice, and in the north, they eat wheat. In the UK, they're 81, and again, 82.81 in Ireland right now. Okay. Russia is 72. South Africa is 63. They have a very, very bad mineral content of their soil. And a lot of the places in Africa, and that's one of my first scientific projects, and one of my first big projects was Marlin Perkins, in South Africa, in the province of Natal, and Umfolozi and Sicily game reserves. The people would move into these areas where all these animals were, and they would build houses and factories and farms and so forth. And so the animals, just by the presence of human, were kind of pushed out of places where they'd been for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. And they went to places that weren't really heavily populated by animals because there was very little minerals in the soil. And that's why they all started dying. Okay. South Africa is 63. Kenya in East Africa, but I've spent time there too, is 59. Mexico is 77. Italy is 83. Let's see here. I already said France. Okay. Hunzas are 120. Egypt is 71. Sweden is 82.7. Germany is 81.26. Spain is 82. Ukraine is 71. Denmark is 77.2. And so you kind of see that the human life, because of the way we eat, the way we farm, and so forth, we're all kind of living the same thing. Very few people in the industrialized world get to be 120. All those very common in Hunza, which come from the Himalayan mountains. So it's one of those things where you are what you eat. You've heard that many, many times. You are what you eat. And you can prevent a lot of diseases just by taking the 90 essential nutrients. You can add 25 to 50 healthy years to your life by taking the 90 essential nutrients. Well, my doctor said I can get everything I need just by eating well. Well, that's not true. Absolutely not true. And when they came out with those hydroelectric dams, there was no more bottomland. Bottomland was the most fertile land in the Western world because it would flood every year in the spring. And when the floodwaters would recede, it left silt behind. The farmers would plow that silt back in, replace the minerals that the crops had taken out in the previous year. And when they built the dams, hydroelectric dams for electricity, no more bottomland. So we have dramatically impacted our food sources. And the only way you can make up the difference is to consciously, proactively supplement. And that's why we have these programs. And of course, we have a 75-year track record of doing this. And this is documented in this book, The Wallach Revolution. Okay. And it has a lot of famous people in here, including, thank you, including people like Pat Boone, very famous singer, actor, author, and he is still going at 88. Very proud of him. And then, of course, he had was going to get double knee replacement, and we put him on our healthy bone and joint pack, and we regrew his knees, and so he got, as see here, Andy Young going, and Andy Young was our ambassador from the United States to the United Nations and also the Mayor of Atlanta. And Pat Boone got Andy Young going and got him to rebuild his knees and his hips so he didn't have to have his knees and his hips replaced. And then Danny Glover, he had seizures and he was kind of scheduled for knee replacement surgery. So we helped him take care of all those things. And so they wanted to be in on this book because they have a story. And so we're very, very proud of that. Of course, we have thousands of other famous people and athletes of all kinds, in high school, junior high, college, Olympic, professional. And that's why we have, there's a new bull in town, this 3 CD set, Dead Athletes Don't Lie, Exercise of Supplementation, Suicide, What Kills Billionaires. All this gives you the information you need to add 25 to 50 healthy years to your life. This is not difficult, but you do have to be proactive because it doesn't just happen by itself. Now, when you're talking about a set of diseases like Alzheimer's disease, multiple sclerosis, Guillain-Barré syndrome, Parkinson's disease, frontal temporal dementia, okay, demyelinization, all of these things are caused by a deficiency, okay, of cholesterol of all things. Well, why would you have a deficiency of cholesterol? Well, your doctor told you to avoid cholesterol. Don't eat eggs. Don't eat fatty meats with cholesterol on it. And of course, you want to take statin drugs, right, to lower your cholesterol, because they mistakenly thought 100 years ago, I'll repeat that, they mistakenly thought 100 years ago that the blockages in arteries are caused by cholesterol. So they really got everybody paranoid about cholesterol. Well, we have something that's going to help you, take 3 eggs twice a day and take your Healthy Brain and Heart Pack and your MSM and so forth. But also, I like the Synaptive, take 2 or 3 of those twice a day. All right. And then I also like the I-26. I take 1 or 2 of those or 3 of those if I want to be doing that day at lunchtime. And you get them in vanilla chewables. You can get them in capsules. You can get them in powder. And it says right on the bottle, provides 25% of your daily requirement of cholesterol. And so anybody who does not take I-26 is really kicking themselves in the head. Okay. So you really have to pay attention to these details, and you will benefit beyond your wildest dreams. You will benefit beyond your wildest dreams when you take all these nutrients. You put oil in your car. You don't put dirt from Texas in there because there's bound to be some oil in it. You put oil in your transmission. Why? Transmission fluid? Well, that's because there's, just because, you think there's dirt, there's oil and dirt from Texas, just putting dirt from Texas in your car won't cut it. Okay. Same way, you check the air in your tires. Okay, see if you have a nail in the tire. You check the radiator for the antifreeze, and so on. You got to do the same thing for yourself, and that's why we have the book, The Wallach Revolution. That's why we have the book, Hell's Kitchen. That's why we have the book, Epigenetics: The Death of the Genetic Theory of Disease Transmission. Okay, and of course, the book Prepare, the Prepper Survival Bible. This book Okay, this is me when I was in the Army at Fort Leonard Wood, 105s, 155 howitzers, artillery. And then, of course, Dr. Milan, who was in, I retired as a lieutenant colonel in the Air Force. Dr. Milan retired after 10 years in the Chinese Air Force. And then the third one here, third author, all right, is Marvin Ropp, who retired after 20 years of being a Navy SEAL. And he's putting all that training of survival and everything else from the Navy SEALs into helping not dozens, not hundreds, but thousands of people. So we're so very, very proud of Marvin Ropp and all that he does for humanity. Okay. And so we're very, very proud of that. And we have lots of new people coming along who are kind of following in the footsteps of these people who've been working with us for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Because they're getting to the point now, like I'm going to be 84 in a couple of months, and I'm going to have to change what I do because I want to get to more people. So I'm going to start traveling again because the COVID thing, I think, is about frittered out. So I think I can start traveling again. But we do have a classroom in the bookstore, so we're going to start putting on classes once a week. Okay, in the bookstore, I think we have 50 chairs, and so you can say, "Hey, I want one of those chairs," and get in on that class. But we do all these Zooms. And it's one of those things where, guess what? If you take care of yourself, and I see this Hell's Kitchen and epigenetics. Oh yeah, you're showing me the spine of the books there. Hell's Kitchen epigenetics. Okay, thank you. That was a new thing there. I hadn't seen that before. Okay.
I think I'm going to make this a bundle, Dr. Wallach.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
We'll make this a bundle and put it on drjwallach.com.
Yeah, we'll give them a little price discount when they get the bundle. That'll be fair. And the information can add 25 to 50 healthy years to your life. It'll save you an enormous amount of unnecessary misery. It'll save you a lot of money, okay? Because these things are a lot cheaper than all these various prescriptions. And people say, well, my insurance pays for that. What if you lose your job tomorrow? What if your business you're working for all these years goes bankrupt? When you retire from your business you've been working for 25 years, does your job go to anybody in your family? No. Okay. Well, when you're building a longevity family business, guess what? When you retire or die, it goes to your family. When they retire or die, it goes to their family. And so you're building an institution for your family when you really participate in the longevity program. So we're so proud of that. Again, save yourself an enormous amount of unnecessary misery, add many healthy years to your life, save an enormous amount of money, and you make money. You'll pay wholesale prices for the products. And also, if you get an auto ship, I will pay the shipping for you. The liquids are pretty heavy, and so the shipping can kind of add up a little bit. But if you do what you're supposed to do and you get on auto ship, I will pay the shipping for you. Okay. So there you go. Okay, over to you, Becca.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Wallach. Lots of great information. And, so many people are writing in. In fact, as I was looking through the questions that have come in just in the last 2 days, I would say probably half of them have to do with the brain, with Alzheimer's and memory loss and dementia. It's crazy that that's such a concern.
Well, that's because it's very scary when you lose your brain. Look what happened to Bruce Willis, diehard, famous actor, okay, and politician. And guess what? He had to retire because he can't remember his own name now because he has FTD, okay, frontal temporal dementia, which is Alzheimer's disease of the front of the brain, the sides of the brain, but the back of the brain is still good. Okay, and they can tell from a MRI, magnetic resonance imaging, because you actually see the brain. When you take an X-ray of the skull, all you see is a big black hole. When you take an MRI, you actually get to see the brain and so forth. But and then of course, Parkinson's disease is just multiple sclerosis with tremors. Guillain-Barré syndrome is just multiple sclerosis to the spinal cord. Alzheimer's disease, it just occurred for the first time. It was diagnosed in 1910, Okay. After the medical doctor started saying, hey, you got to get rid of cholesterol out of your diet because that's what causes all the blockages in the arteries. And their misinformation started a new disease called Alzheimer's disease. Their misinformation has caused MS, Guillain-Barré syndrome, Parkinson's disease, also FTD, also demyelinization. But all that's fixable. We can regrow the myelin, okay? The brain has a capacity to rebuild itself. I mean, you've seen people with memory problems, Becca, who've gotten on our program, started eating the eggs and taking the I-26 and all that kind of stuff, and the memory FX and so on. And synaptive, that's why we came out with synaptive, make it easier for people to put things together. And suddenly now, oh my gosh, I can remember things again. And we're helping people.
Yeah, go from not being able to carry on a conversation to being able to carry on a conversation. And the loved ones are like, I never thought that I'd be able to carry on a conversation with my mother again. And she's 94 years old. And I just think that's beautiful, Dr. Wallach, to go from not being able to having that thought of a child of not being able to have a conversation.
Oh.
Okay. Let's go right into a question, Dr. Wallach. And
Okay.
Stephanie, here, bless her. She had a heart attack last November, diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, chronic fatigue syndrome. 3 weeks ago, she was diagnosed with mild dementia. She's very smart. She says, most likely because of the medication. I'm 5'5", 216 pounds, 52 to age, and says her heart stresses every day. Please help.
Okay, I got dementia. You say she got diabetes, right?
Diabetes type 2.
Okay.
She's had a heart attack
Okay.
only 5 months ago. Chronic fatigue syndrome. And just 3 weeks ago, diagnosed with mild dementia.
Okay. So she's get rid of all the bad stuff. That's easy. That's your choice. Okay, get rid of the bad stuff. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no brown rhinos. When I say no fried foods, I mean no fried foods, no exceptions. And then no, excuse me, no oils, no cooking oils, no salad dressings. I also want you to get rid of the gluten, no wheat, brown, rye, oats, no buckwheat, okay, because they have phagopyrines in there, which are worse than gluten. No sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the alkaline water needs to go, and also the carbonated water needs to go because they neutralize your stomach acid, so you cannot absorb minerals and digest food. Then at 200 and let's see here, 216 pounds and 5'5", I'd like to see her weigh maybe for a woman 120, something like that. So she may be 80 pounds overweight here. And I want her to have 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month. There's 215 nutrients in each of those packs, a full dose of everything twice a day. I want her to get 2 bottles a month of the MSM, so she can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time, and they will support and promote maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between a vertebrae, bone makes the bone itself. I also want her to have the collagen peptides, take a scoop of that with her morning drink, scoop of that with her evening drink. That'll be 2 canisters per month. I want her to have the synaptive, say 2 or 3 of those twice a day, depending on finances. Then for the type 2 diabetes, I want her to get on 2 bottles a month of the sweeties, take 3 twice a day. Don't cold turkey off the medication, but as the blood sugar begins to drop, she can slowly reduce the blood pressure medication, the diabetes medication based on the numbers. And then I didn't hear her say she had high blood pressure. Is that correct? She didn't say anything about high blood pressure?
She didn't say that she had high blood pressure. No, just the heart attack last November.
Okay. So at any rate, I would still want her to have the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, three words. Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. Take 3 at breakfast, 3 at dinner time. That's 2 bottles a month. And they'll support healthy blood pressure and healthy blood flow through blocked arteries in the brain, the heart, the kidneys, and everywhere else, in the body. And let's see here. Then I also want her to have our rebound or sports drink. And it comes in sticks. There's, let's see here. There's 30 sticks in a box, has 100 nutrients in it, 75 minerals and 25 vitamins, amino acids. Okay. And then we have the canister. There's 36 servings in the canister with the same thing, 100 nutrients. We have the cans with 100 nutrients, a rebound, but it does have the carbonation in it. So I pop 2 of them at night before bedtime, or you can drink, the other 2, but I drink the other 2 mostly when I'm on the road, because I don't want to be taking cans with me on the road. So I pop the cans at night, put them in the refrigerator, and drink one with breakfast and one with lunch or between lunch and dinner. Okay. And so she should contact us every couple of weeks, and we'll walk her through this. And she'll begin to lose weight just simply because she's not going to be as hungry. She won't be eating as much. She won't be snacking as much if she takes all these nutrients as we have suggested. But if she wants to lose weight faster, we do have the keto shake in chocolate and strawberry. And she could replace 1 meal a day with that. Doesn't have to be the same meal every day. And you notice they said replace the meal. It's not to be added to a meal. It's a meal replacement. And lose a half a pound to 2 pounds a day. So we're looking at 2-3 months. She could be down to where she needs to be. And so the question always comes up, Rebecca, how long does she have to stay on this program?
Well, the answer is you've got to have the 90 essential nutrients for life.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, how long do you need oxygen? Forever. How long do you need water? Forever. Well, I exercise a lot and I hydrate well. Well, that's bad. You hydrate? Do you take vitamins, minerals? No. Okay, well, do you think sweat is just water? No, sweat's a soup that contains all your minerals. That's why we put 75 minerals in our Rebound sports drink. Red Bull, the biggest selling sports drink on the market, and we want to go head to head with them. They only have 1 mineral. They only have magnesium. We have 75 minerals, including magnesium. Okay, and so it's one of those things. They're giving you energy because of sugar and caffeine, and we're giving you energy and stamina because of the nutrition. So that's our difference there. Okay, I think with that said, we're just about at the bottom of the hour there. I'm just going to remind everybody. Oh,
I wanted to say, folks, whenever your car breaks down, it costs more money to fix it than it does to maintain and keep it going strong. So whenever you're thinking, oh, Dr. Wallach is putting on so much, why? Well, that's why. It's going to take more in the beginning to get your body back to being nutriated and the cells functioning and healthy. And then we look at reevaluating. We go based on symptoms, because Dr. Wallach, he's not about diagnoses for the most part. It's about the symptoms that the body's experiencing, because those symptoms are what are directly connected with nutrient deficiencies.
yeah, they're little red flags, little red warning buttons, like on the dashboard of your car.
Absolutely. Well, Dr. Wallach, we have some comments that are coming in off of YouTube.
Okay.
And John says, legendary Doc Wallach, which I agree. And then Jose says, are any of Dr. Wallach's books on audio? And yes, there are a couple of the books that are available through audio. You can go to drjwallach.com. You will find them there on the website under digital, I think, or ebook. Well, there's the ebooks and then there's the digital. So you've got both there for some of the books. And then he also wants to know what your recommendations are for those that work with chemicals on a daily basis, Dr. Wallach.
Okay. Well, if you work with chemicals in a factory or farming or something like that on a daily basis, you need to make sure that you are detoxing. Okay. And what would you give for detoxification, Rebecca?
Herbal rainforest.
Well, there you go. 13 cleansing herbs and 75 minerals. And it tells you the dosage for body weight on the bottle. And that was designed exactly to answer the question. And so Rebecca gets an A+, herbal rainforest. Okay. And it was actually created to answer that question. And you also want to get a hair analysis to see how badly you've been impacted if you work in a factory or something. The book, Rare Earths and Cures, chapters 10 and 11, starts page 272, tells you how to collect the hair, how to package it, where to ship it. Don't forget to put the check in there, because the lab won't run the test without the check. And you're going to get two charts back. One chart is the nutritional minerals, okay? And if they're all down below the bottom line, that says, uh-oh, you're sneaking gluten. You're eating gluten or buckwheat. You're not absorbing because your intestines are dead. But so these 60 essential minerals, they should be kind of all over the place, okay, depending on what you're eating and what, when you're eating and so forth. But if they're all below the bottom line, that means you're not absorbing because you're eating gluten and buckwheat. Got to stop it. And then, of course, you get a second chart, and the second chart lists the toxic minerals like lead and mercury and uranium and things like that, and tells you what the levels are, and it tells you if it's, if it's a toxic level or kind of an early warning level you need to watch or get rid of and so forth. And then in the book, Rare Earths and Cures, it also tells you how to get rid of these toxic minerals. Okay, we have programs for that. Again, the herbal rainforest was actually created to be the answer in that book for that question. What do you do about it? Okay, if you do have some toxic minerals or if you have some toxicity of any kind. And that's what the herbal rainforest is for.
And I wouldn't just take the herbal rainforest by itself, Dr. Wallach. It's got to be in conjunction with the 90 essential nutrients, like the Healthy Body Pack or the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack.
No, when you're detoxing,
you want to
you still need the 90 essential nutrients, right? So your body can function and work and do its part of the job.
And flood your body with those nutrients so there's less room for those toxins to settle in, including in the liver. Let's go to the first hand that is up here with us in the room. And Joanne, go ahead and unmute yourself. And welcome to Daily with Doc. Hold on, try one more time.
Okay.
There you go.
Thanks, Becca. Thank you, Dr. Wallach, for all that you do and what you provide for everyone in the world.
Well, you're very sweet. How can we help you?
I'm 76 years old. I am 130 pounds, female, and I have a 6-inch complex cyst on my liver. And half of it is embedded in the liver, and the other half is outside, and it's attached to my abdomen wall. What would you recommend that I take or do? Somebody has shared with me to make creosote tea and drink that daily to help.
Stay away from creosote. Just want to be a shingle on a roof. Okay. You have to appreciate the liver is a very dynamic organ. It has enormous capacity to defend itself, how to heal itself, but it does require nutrients to do that. And again, one of the things, if I forget, so I'm going to say it first. I'm going to get that herbal rainforest, okay, and be sure you're taking that according to the label. It'll give you, a dosage rate on the label, and then per pound of body weight kind of thing. And then you also want to get the 170 pounds, right? 170
and 30 pounds.
Oh, I'm sorry, 130 pounds. Okay, 130 pounds. I want you to get one Healthy Brain and Heart pack per month. Take a half a dose of everything twice a day, half a dose of breakfast, half a dose of dinner time. Take one bottle a month of the MSM, so you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at dinner time. The collagen peptides, take 2 little canisters a month, so you can take a full scoop at breakfast, full scoop at dinner time in your drink. You also, I want you again to, let's see here, for the liver, I want you to get 2 extra bottles of our selenium. Our selenium has 5 cofactors in it that are very necessary here. So I would go ahead and take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time, or selenium with the 5 cofactors. Okay, and you can kind of gauge what's going on here. Do you color your hair?
Yes.
Okay, well, your hair color will come back because the loss of hair color has nothing to do with age. It's due to a nutritional deficiency. And it's kind of like the red warning light on the dashboard of your car. Your hair color will come back. So everything's healing on the inside and so forth when that happens. The liver has an enormous capacity to heal itself, but you do have to stay away from the bad stuff to support that healing process. So no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no butter, rye, oats, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks, even alkaline water and carbonated water need to go because it will neutralize stomach acid, so you cannot absorb minerals or digest food. And then let's see. Oh, we also have what we call the gallbladder in a bottle. Okay, it's our ultimate enzymes. Our ultimate enzymes are called the gallbladder in a bottle because we do have bile in it. I want you to take, say, 2 of those, say 5 to 10 minutes for each meal with a couple ounces of water. So you'll need 2 of those bottles of ultimate enzymes. The gallbladder in a bottle is called ultimate enzymes. And that's going to help the liver with some of its functions also. And then, anytime you go in to visit the doctor, or you get a blood test, you get a urine test, whatever's going on, give us a call and bring us up to date on what the doctor says, what the tests say, and so forth, so we can tweak things. But we see this sort of stuff all the time. And the liver has an enormous capacity to heal. Give it all the stuff it needs, and it will heal. Okay.
So the cyst could actually go away rather than surgically remove it.
Yeah, it's a benign cyst. It's not cancer, and so what I would do is I'd say, well, I'm going to give it a couple of months here. Tell your doctors, I'm going to give it a couple of months here, but I do want. Did he take an MRI of this? How did they see this? Did they take an MRI?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Out
How long ago was that?
last week.
Okay, good. So, and then he said you're going to get another MRI when?
He didn't say because he wanted to operate.
Well, of course he did. So, he's got a kid in college and tuition is due. You say, look, I'm trying some liver stuff here, doc. And so I want to have you do another MRI in another couple of weeks. And so I can see if there's a difference between now and I'd say give it a month.
Okay.
Okay, get another MRI in a month, and we'll make decisions after that second MRI, and we'll see, what a diet and a supplement program has done for me. Okay.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Dr. Wallach.
Okay. Well, thank you. God bless you.
All right. Thank you, Joanne. And Dr. Wallach, did you mention the liver formula, the pollen burst liver formula? I would add that. I've had some really good success adding that to a protocol.
Okay, go ahead. Please add that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and that would be 2 twice a day,
Pollen
Joanne.
burst
Would be 2
liver.
bottles. Pollen burst liver formula.
Okay.
All right. Let's go to the next hand that is up, Dr. Wallach and Bobby. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hello, Dr. Wallach, and thank you once again, Becker and Holistic Team. I got a question here for you, Dr. Wallach.
Okay, sir.
We have a female. She's 213 pounds. She's 77 years old. She went blind in her left eye.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Okay, she's 213 pounds, age 77. She went blind in her left eye.
Okay, so she's blind. That's the word that I didn't hear. Okay, she's blind.
Yeah, she's blind in her left eye, and she has high blood pressure and bed sores, and she had a mild stroke. She can't walk.
She cannot walk.
She
Okay.
fell down, and she's been falling down. She can't walk, and she had a mild stroke, Dr. Wallach.
Okay, so do you have any idea how many times she wakes up at night to urinate or urinates during the day? Has she got polyuria where she's getting up 5 times a night to urinate or 5 times during the day to urinate? You need to ask her that question. Then also we need to know, does she have any tinnitus or ringing in the ears?
Oh, I'm not sure about that because she is in the hospital right now.
Answer the question. Okay, and then also we need to know, does she have a balance problem? Obviously she had a balance problem if she was falling all the time. Okay, so I suspect with everything's going on with her, she also has osteoporosis of the skull, which can squeeze the optic nerve and the optic artery and the optic vein and cause blindness. Okay. And this falling thing can be a squeezing of the vestibular branch of the 8th cranial nerve. Okay. And let's see here. This again, the stroke can be a stroke, but it could also be due to the brain shutting off blood flow to a certain area of the skull. High blood pressure. Okay, that's easy. So if she's in the hospital, I don't know how much they're gonna let her do, but she needs to get rid of all the bad stuff. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no brown around oats, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. And then at 217 pounds or 213 pounds, I wanted to have, let's see here, 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month, the full dose thing twice a day. I'm going to get 2 bottles a month of the MSM, so I take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. And that's going to support and promote maintenance repair, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone makes bone cell, including the bone marrow, and which makes white blood cells and antibodies and red blood cells and platelets to do that. She's the occutive, 2 or 3 of those twice a day. Okay. The high blood pressure, I wanted to get, and there's 3 words here: Ultimate Daily Classic. Ultimate Daily Classic. I wanted to get 2 bottles a month of that, so you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at dinner time. And they're going to support and promote healthy blood flow through blocked arteries and support healthy blood pressure. If she's on medication for high blood pressure, don't cold turkey off of it. But as the blood pressure begins to drop, she can slowly reduce the medication based on the numbers. Okay. Let's see here. Again, because of her weight, if she wants to lose weight quickly, she can get one of our keto shakes meal per day. It's actually a meal replacer. It's not to add to a meal. It comes in strawberry and chocolate. And if they're going to do it, I like them to have half the month with chocolate and half the month with the strawberry. Okay. And so I think that covers the waterfront there. And if I didn't say it, occutive, needs the occutive, which is going to help the lens of the eye and the retina and so forth. And also the Ultimate Daily Classic will also help the eye. And all these collagens and minerals are going to help because of to help the skull heal and take the pressure again off of that optic nerve and the optic artery and the optic vein. How the pressure will go away. This is all easy stuff. Okay. So do give us a call and let us know how it all goes. So you can, say 2 weeks and 4 weeks and 6 weeks. And we're happy to answer more questions.
And Dr. Wallach, what about the bed sores?
Okay, well, the bed sores, we do have colloidal silver, no alcohol in it, so it's painless. And taking all this collagen stuff is going to help because the skin is like 75% collagen. It's kind of like tendon-like material, so it needs that. But also you can take and soak some of these little cotton balls with the colloidal silver 2-3 times a day and put it on the bed sores, and it will kill the bugs, but there's no alcohol in it, so it won't burn. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Wallach.
All right. Thank you, Bobby. Let's go to Marilyn, who I think she has a question from the chat here, Dr. Wallach. Marilyn, go ahead.
Yes, I do. Rob asked the question, how does gluten destroy the brain and the nervous system?
Okay, it's very simple. Your brain and your nervous system are not poured concrete. They're dynamic living tissues. They come and they go based on what they get and what they don't get. And if you're not getting the stuff to maintain your brain, it goes away. You're not getting enough stuff to maintain your skull and your hips and your knees, your pelvis and your vertebrae, they go away. Doctors don't understand this, okay? They believe you only get osteoporosis below the neck, okay? Osteoporosis produces 37 different diseases. I'm going to show you something here. Thank you for asking the question. This book, it's all in your head, and the CD that Rebecca and I did will tell you the story. There's 37 different diseases you can get from osteoporosis of the skull. The top skull, we've taken the calvarium off at autopsy, the skull cap, looking down on the brain, and you see that the skull is only 1/4 of an inch thick. That's normal. And then the second one, we've taken the skull cap off, and you're looking down on the brain. You see that the skull is 1.5 inches to 2 inches thick because it has osteoporosis, which is connective tissue, not mineral in tendons. Okay, it's just kind of like connective tissue. Okay, and it's squeezing those tunnels that the 12 pairs of cranial nerves go through and squeezing the tunnel called the foramen magnum, which is Latin for big hole, foramen magnum, okay, where the spinal cord goes through, and it causes 17 different diseases. Okay, and doctors will send these patients to like 14 different specialists. They'll put them in the hospital and they'll do all these tests and give them all these things. And in many cases, they'll get some pain relief and symptom relief. And the patients are just overjoyed, happy, and grateful. But then 6 months later, they're really down in the hole, and sometimes they just die, okay, because this osteoporosis of the skull gets worse and worse and worse and worse. So the symptoms get worse and worse and worse and worse, and so forth. This is a very simple thing. And so this is the first time that anybody has ever written about osteoporosis of the skull in this book. This is like just about 2 years old. Okay. Ask your doctor what he thinks about osteoporosis of the skull. They'll slap their leg and laugh and say, who have you been talking to? There's never been a report of osteoporosis of the skull. That's because when you get osteoporosis of your knees, they want to do a double knee replacement. You get osteoporosis of your hips, you get a double hip replacement. You're going to get a double head replacement when you get osteoporosis of the skull. Okay, and so that's why they don't talk about osteoporosis of the skull, even if they know about it. I don't think they know about it. I don't think they get taught osteoporosis of the skull in the school.
I don't think they do either, Dr. Wallach.
I'm sorry?
I want to make sure that, was there another part to that question? I don't think that there was,
No.
Marilyn.
No, there wasn't. That was it then.
All right. Dr. Wallach, I want to make sure we get to Jasmine here. She was referred by her coach. So Jasmine, go ahead and unmute yourself. And if you want to bring your camera on as well, that would be fantastic.
Hi guys. Hi, Dr. Wallach.
Hi. How can we help you?
I am 48 years old, 135 pounds. I've gained the weight recently. I have restless legs, extreme bloating, like my whole body is bloated. Insomnia, I cannot sleep at all. I only sleep when the sun comes out. Weight gain, constipation. My liver seems to not be functioning well. Lymphs are congested. I have rectal cancer. I have sounds in my ears, like a washing machine is going on. Arthritis in my hands recently because there's so much bloating in my hands. There's so much water retention. I have a cyst on my liver and on my thyroid. I know that's a lot. And I also would like to keep it low cost and taste good. Otherwise, I won't be taking it. I'm very sensitive to taste, unfortunately.
Okay, here's the deal. I believe you have osteoporosis of the skull. You have so many of the symptoms of osteoporosis of the skull. Okay. And it causes balance problems, causes ringing in the ears, and all this washing machine noise you're talking about. The skull squeezing the auditory branch of the 8th cranial nerve. Okay. And then restless leg syndrome, the skull is squeezing the spinal cord. Okay. And so the spinal cord is sending signals down to your legs to run, go around the block, climb the stairs. Well, I just want to sit and watch TV, but your brain is squeezing that spinal cord, and the spinal cord is telling your legs to do that. How many times a night do you wake up to urinate? Once, 3 times, 5 times, 10 times?
Sometimes a couple of times, but I usually don't urinate that much in the daytime.
No,
And I'm trying to take in as much water, but I really can't. I take a few sips and my body just is like, and I know that I'm dehydrated, but I just can't take in the water.
Okay, well, answer the question. How many times you wake up at night to urinate?
About 2 times sometimes.
Okay. Do you have a prostate gland?
Do I have a prostate gland?
Yes.
You're asking me? I don't know. What does that mean?
Women don't have prostate glands. That's only
No.
men.
Yes.
So it's not a prostate issue causing you to have these fluid problems. And when you sweat, do you exercise?
I don't because I have so little energy. I could
Mhm.
hardly move. I
Yes.
come to like put my shoes on and I'm like panting.
Okay. So yeah, you have osteoporosis of the skull. And it's creating so many of your symptoms here. You need to get a hold of the book and the CD set. It's all in your head. Okay, it's all in your head. Then let's see here. At 135 pounds, I want you to get rid of all the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no butter, no
The
stuff.
other thing is I crave a lot of sugar
I
and
know.
I'm trying to stop it, but it's a craving that if I don't get it, I'm going to like knock something down or, you know,
Yes, I'm gonna
it's
fix
very,
that. I'm going to fix that.
okay. And can you write this down for me? Sorry, I don't know who's
No, I don't do that.
the moderate.
You'll be able to get the replay, Jasmine, on
Okay.
dailydoc.com, and let your coach that you're working with know that it is in the last 5 minutes of the show.
Okay.
Okay,
Go ahead, Dr. Wallach.
one healthy brain and heart pack per month. We got to go quickly here, so I can't be interrupted again. I got another one coming up here pretty quick. None of the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no brown rye, oats, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the carbonated water got to go. Soft drinks got to go. Then I also want you to get a hold of that book, Dr. Wallach's Cooking Without the Bad Foods. 300 pages of safe recipes for you and also safe cooking methods. I want you to take, let's see here, at 135 pounds, I want you to take one healthy brain and heart pack per month, one healthy brain and heart packs per month, right? And then I want you to take a half a dose of breakfast, half a dose of dinner time. I want you to take 1 bottle a month of the MSM, so you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at dinner time. They're going to support and promote your immune system by rebuilding your bone marrow and support maintenance, repair, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between your vertebrae, bone makes one cell. Get 2 of the little canisters of the collagen peptides. So you take a scoop of that in your morning drinks or your evening drink. I want you to take, or Synaptive, take 2 of those, 3 of those twice a day. Okay, it'll be a couple of bottles a month, and that's going to help the brain cells talk to each other. And then I also want you to, for your liver, I want you to take our ultimate enzymes, and we call it the gallbladder in a bottle because we have bile in there. It's going to help you absorb the things that you're not absorbing when your liver's not happy, that you need to be healthy and prevent strokes and blood clots and all that kind of stuff. And so we should take 2 or 3 of those, let's see here, ultimate enzymes, say 5 or 10 minutes for each meal, a couple ounces of water. And then let's see here. Liver. Oh, I also, because you have an energy problem, I also want you to get a rebound or sports drink. You can drink 2 of those a day, one with breakfast, one with lunch, or no later than say 3 or 4 o'clock, because then we will stay up all night. But this rebound has 100 nutrients in it, 75 minerals, and 25 vitamins, amino acids. Now I only weigh 142. I weigh 142, and I take 2 rebounds a day. I take 2 of the healthy brain and heart packs, okay, a month. So I'm taking 2 servings a day. So I'm getting 100 nutrients 4 times a day. And in 2 months' time, I'll be 84 years old. All right. And so it's one of those things where I have the energy. I don't have any real problems other than from injuries, that came from an accident falling in a big ditch up in Canada in a construction site some years ago. But I'm not on any prescription drugs. Okay, it's a long story, but I'm not on any prescription drugs. And so I believe we can help you resolve all these problems, because everything you're mentioning here is a nutritional deficiency. It's a combination of osteoporosis of the skull that causes the restless leg syndrome by squeezing the spinal cord. Okay, and so this is something, the bloating. This could be a squeezing of the 10th cranial nerve, the vagus nerve, causing gastroparesis. When you get all this bloating in the stomach, do you ever get any pain in the stomach? Like somebody sticking you in the stomach with a knife?
No, I never have pain. It's just systemic bloating. Even if I don't eat, I bloat.
Okay, yeah. I think it's just the skull squeezing that 10th cranial nerve, okay, the vagus nerve, causing what's called gastroparesis. You can look that up, gastroparesis. And that's the skull squeezing the 10th cranial nerve. That's why you need to get a hold of this book, because you have so many of those symptoms, okay, are dealing with this. You are a classic example of this, okay? Osteoporosis of the skull. And you're paying the price because doctors don't know what to do about that, because they don't know, they're not taught these things. So do give us a call every couple of weeks.
And for the rectal cancer?
Okay, well, for the rectal cancer, well, this is where the MSM is working, and the collagen peptides, because they're rebuilding your bone marrow. So you can, the white blood cells, okay, the white blood cells, they are your soldiers to go kill and eat cancer cells and that kind of stuff. Okay, and getting away from the bad diet is going to take the pressure off and relieve some of the symptoms of cancer. Okay, and it's one of those things where we're supporting the immune system very heavily here. Okay, for the cancer issue. All right.
And that's going to take care of the sugar cravings?
Well, sugar cravings. Now, have you been diagnosed? Oh, do you ever get drowsy after a meal?
Sometimes I get sleepy, yes.
Yeah, that's called reactive hypoglycemia. Okay. You're deficient in a couple of minerals there, so we have to add the sweeties to that program of yours. Take, I go ahead of your body weight. You could take 2 or 3 of those twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month of the sweeties. And you can either stick your finger and take your blood sugar when you're getting drowsy and see what your blood sugar is, or you can urinate and have the test strips to stick in your urine sample and see where your blood sugar levels and your urine sugar levels are at. All right.
Dr. Wallach,
Yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you need to go, my dear.
I know. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Everybody,
guys. Thank you, Dr. Wallach. Thank you very much.
yeah, and Jasmine, a lot of the things that you're experiencing, I experienced myself, and especially those sugar cravings where you just feel like you can't get enough. It's because of the mineral deficiencies. When you give the body what it needs, it stops all those cravings of the things that we should not be having, because it's just craving because it feels like it's missing something.
So I don't need the ultimate 90.
Oh yeah, that's the 90 essential nutrients is what includes the minerals that we're talking about.
So get that one as well. Okay.
Okay, so get with your health coach. They'll be able to help you get the products that you need, or the person that referred you to this program.
I actually don't think I have a coach.
So somebody told you to call in today?
Yes. Okay.
Get back with that person.
Okay. Very well.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
I would add Z radical.
And I was just going to say Z radical or fucoid Z helps to, it has fucoidin. So if you look up fucoidin and cancer on WebMD, there is a ton of information that supports fucoidin and its ability to help the body when it comes to cancer.
And I get Z radicals from you guys?
Yes, Z radical and fucoid Z both. So fucoid Z is in capsule form. Z radical is in a liquid form.
What is it called? Z-coid key?
Z radical.
Yes, I got that.
And then fucoid, Fucoid, and the letter Z all together.
Thank you.
Fucoid Z.
Okay.
And,
Okay.
and
Thank you.
the website you'll find the information is actually pubmed.gov.
Okay.
med.gov.
Okay. Thank you,
Oh,
guys.
sorry. Yes. Thank you, Ruth Ellen.
Yeah.
See, that's why we have co-hosts and buddies and friends and people that just build the community up, because one person, I'm only human, and it takes a community to make it all work. Folks, you have been tuned in to Daily with Doc. My name is Becca Dukes. As the hostess of this program, it is my privilege and honor to provide this resource to the world. Now, as a community of longevity associates, we just have a heart for people and making this information available. That's why we have broadened our reach out onto YouTube, Rumble, Facebook. We're also getting started on Truth Social, and also there was somewhere else. Oh, just keep an eye out for criticalhealthnews.com or Critical Health News and Daily with Doc. You can find all of our replays on dailywithdoc.com. And also, if you are not already working with somebody, we do have a store there, and we also have a contact us. Use that contact us, and we will get you set up with a certified holistic health coach that will be able to help you find exactly what your body is starving for. Because folks, we're not chemical deficient, we're mineral deficient. And when our body's not getting the minerals and the nutrients that it needs, it's in a survival mode. Why not get into that thrive mode? So we invite you to feel the difference. On behalf of myself, my co-hosts, Ruth Ellen Sanchez and Marilyn Pizarra today, and our technical advisor, who's not on with us, but he's here in spirit, John T. McCollier. We thank you so much for joining us. Bye for now.
Have a
Thank
great
you.
weekend.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.